If you're wondering why I'm wearing my hood, it's because I'm having a very bad hair day, and so I don't want people to see my hair, hence the hood. Hello my little robins, it's me, Beth. Another week has passed, which means another video, and in fact another month has passed because this is my June Q&A. That's right, if you guys watched my May Q&A, you're probably thinking, you're not going to stick to this every month. It's June, I've got another Q&A. I have some more fan submitted questions. These again were from Wattpad. Come on Tumblr, catch up to Wattpad. So I'm going to try and answer as many of these as I can. Let's just start this June Q&A. The first question comes from a user who didn't want me to use their username, but the question is, how would you react if a YouTuber or band member mentioned your fanfiction? Well, safe to say, I have actually been asked this in the past on my third Sug series, how I would react if, Zoella, Thatcher Joe or Dan Is Not On Fire read my fanfiction. And I like to think that I would keep cool. I'll be like, oh yay, my idols have read my fanfiction. But I think at the same time on the inside I'd be freaking out because what if they don't like it? What if they send all their fans on me who hate me? Yeah, I think I would be shocked. I think it'd be nice to be mentioned, but at the same time there are pros and cons to that. Why? Person who sent me that question, are you suggesting that you're going to go and send my fanfiction to people? Oh, I'm watching you, Anonymous. Yeah. The next question comes from Candor Chick and it is, what concerts have you been to? Okay, let's list these off. I'm going to ignore the concerts pre my teen years because I didn't go to that many when I was younger. I went to see Muse. That was fun in April. I've seen Busted. I saw Busted in May. I've seen Muck Busted. I've seen 5 Seconds of Summer. They're the 4 big ones, and then if we're talking about if I've gone to like the O2 Academies and seen bands, I've seen Neck Deep in Liverpool. I've also seen Hailstorm in Manchester because Liverpool sold out, so I had to go to Manchester. And so far they're all the bands I've seen. The next question comes from Random Fangirl 86 and it is, when you started writing the original third Sug book, who did you think Alice would end up with? That's a good question because before the third Sug trilogy happened, I planned one book, the third Sug, but because it took off overnight, people insisted I write a sequel, and then that sequel, people insisted I write another book, so I wrote 3. But originally, how it ended, Alice ended up with Finn Harries at the end of the third Sug book, and I'm not gonna lie, that's who I planned her to get together with the entire time. She had a bit of a fling with Dan Howe, she had a bit of a fling with Kick the PJ. But no, she was always meant to end up with Finn until people asked me for a sequel, and then I thought, you know what, let's make Finn a douchebag. So yeah, Random Fangirl 86, Alice was meant to end up with Finn, how the book ended. But as you now know, if you've read the other 2 books in the series, she's no longer with Finn. You have to read the series to find out who she's with. The next question comes from YouTube_girls and it is, choose between Dan and Phil. That's like asking me, do I want to cut off my right arm or my left arm? I'll probably cut off my left arm since I'm right-handed, but choosing between Dan and Phil, that's like blasphemy. You can't ask a member of the fandom to pick one. Sure, Dan is funny, quite sexy, not gonna lie, and I love his videos, but Phil was the first official YouTuber I started watching, and I feel sorry for him because he doesn't get a lot of love, I don't think, compared to Dan. He introduced Dan to YouTube, and I think Phil needs millions of subscribers more than he already has. So if I had to choose between Dan and Phil, I'm gonna have to go with my lion. I'm gonna have to go with Phil. I'm sorry Dan, but I think Phil needs love, and I can give him that. I just want to hug him because he's precious. So yeah, I choose Phil. Next question comes from Spaz Ninja. I approve of that username, and it is, which was your favourite concert? And that's Hands down, my favourite concert was going to see Muse on their Drones tour in Birmingham at the start of April, because Muse have been my favourite band for years. I never got to see their Resistance tour or their Second Law tour, and so I was determined to go see their Drones tour because I'm obsessed with the album. And hands down, oh my god, we were front, right at the barrier, right in front of Matt Bellamy. The stage rotated, so all the band members were in front of us at some point, but Matt Bellamy mainly stayed on our side. You know, you had floating drones around the arena, which were awesome. You had a big floating, like, black rocket drone towards the end of the show. You know, the animations were on point. I sang along to every song. You know, and there was a mixture of age range, you know. It wasn't just young girls, there were like people my dad's age, because my dad got me into Muse. And it was just overall a fun experience, and I would see Muse again and again. The next question comes from the reader with a dream, and it is, what is the weirdest text message you've ever sent? Now, I currently have a new phone and a new number, so all my old messages are on my old phone, but I clearly remember a weird text message I sent. Would it have been last summer? No, it would have been the summer before then. And I had a friend who went out to America for the summer, and the time difference, we could only talk at certain times, and I had come back home from university and my parents had gone away for a week and left me home alone. And the house I grew up in is quite old, so it's quite creaky. And because I wasn't quite used to silence because I lived in the centre of Liverpool, I got a bit scared and I was talking to her. And I remember hearing a creaking noise, and I just sent her this one message, which was, "They're coming to get me." And she was like, "Who's coming to get you?" And I said, "I don't know, they're outside my door." There wasn't anyone outside my door, it was my overactive imagination, but I freaked out my best friend. I'm sorry for freaking you out. That's the weirdest message I've ever sent someone. And the final question I'm going to be answering is by Hoboized Styles. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, you know who you are. Make a less complicated username, and it is, have you met any famous YouTubers? No, I haven't. You would think I have, based on the fact that I write about them. I go to London all the time. I haven't met anyone physically, but I have sat next to Dan Howell on the London Underground and I kept my cool. There we go, guys, that was just my June Q&A. I hope you guys, enjoyed me answering your questions. I enjoy being sent questions because it means I've got to answer them. I got some doozies. I guess I'll see you, next month. I'll see you in July. I'll see you at the end of July for another Q&A video. Yeah. If you guys want to ask me any questions, you know the drill, ask me down in the comments below. You can ask me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Twitter, all my social media is in the description box. While you're down in the comments, don't forget to click that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe because there's nothing stopping you. Until next week, I am Beth. Goodbye.